Our New Testament reading is a reflection back on the Old Testament reading from Hebrews chapter 11. Listen as I read this famous passage of Scripture. Now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. Indeed, by faith our ancestors received approval. By faith we understand that the worlds were prepared by the word of God, so that what is seen was made from things that are not visible. By faith Abel offered to God a more acceptable sacrifice than Cain's. Through this he received approval as righteous, God himself giving approval to his gifts. He died, but through his faith he still speaks. By faith Enoch was taken so that he did not experience death, and he was not found because God had taken him. For it is attested before he was taken away that he had pleased God. And without faith it is impossible to please God. For whoever would approach him must believe that he exists and that he rewards those who seek him. By faith Noah, warned by God about events as yet unseen, respected the warning and built an ark to save his household. By this he condemned the world and became an heir to the righteousness that is in accordance with faith. By faith Abraham obeyed when he was called to set out for a place that he was to receive as an inheritance, and he set out not knowing where he was going. By faith he stayed for a time in the land he had been promised, as in a foreign land, living in tents, as did Isaac and Jacob, who were heirs with him of the same promise. For he looked forward to the city that has foundations, whose architect and builder is God. By faith he received power of procreation even though he was too old, and Sarah herself was barren, because he considered him faithful who had promised. Therefore, from one person, and this one as good as dead, descendants were born, as many as the stars of heaven, and as innumerable grains of sand by the seashore. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Let us pray. Gracious God, may the words of my mouth and the meditation of our hearts together be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, our rock and our Redeemer. Amen. I love to travel, and I know many of you do as well. I enjoy flying because, of course, you can cover long distances so quickly. But if I had my druthers, spell check doesn't know what to do with druthers, but if I had my druthers, I love to drive. I love a good long road trip, and I've had some great ones in my life. When the kids were younger, we did the classic American vacation. We drove from the West Coast to the East Coast and back again in a little over 3 weeks. I remember crossing the George Washington Bridge about 1 a.m. in the morning, a little nervous, a little scary. We got diverted onto the streets of New York with police cars with lights flashing, and kids were wondering what on earth was going on our way to our friend's house on Long Island. On that trip, we saw Yellowstone and Mount Rushmore and Niagara Falls and the Statue of Liberty, and we spent a week in Washington, D.C., where we toured the White House, the Capitol, and all the museums. Memories that will last a lifetime. I come by that wanderlust honestly. My father loved nothing more than to pack the kids into the car and take off to points unknown, sometimes literally. One year, I don't remember the trip because I was only 2. My dad thinks it was 1960, so I'll pause while you do the math on that. And the 5 of us got in his 1959 Chrysler 2-door coupe, a gorgeous car, and headed south from Red Deer, Alberta. They didn't know where they were headed, but actually that would have been Edmonton, Alberta. We were living in Edmonton at the time, and they didn't know where they were headed, but they started driving south, since almost everything in the world is south of Edmonton. As they were driving and discussing where to go on vacation, one of them, Mom or Dad, probably Dad, said, "Why don't we go visit that new place they'd heard about called Disneyland?" So off they went. Most of our summer vacations were better planned than that, but there's something exciting about heading off with no plan, stepping out in faith. Today is the first Sunday of our annual stewardship season, and our theme for 2014, as you can see, is On the Journey Together. I think it's a great theme for so many reasons. It ties in with our mission statement that we've spent the month of October reflecting on together, seeking light for the journey. We are people on the move, we recognized. We are on an adventure of faith. We are moving forward, even though we are not sure where the road leads. We are eager to see what lies around the next corner. And here's the best part. We are on the journey together. Together we are stepping out in faith, growing and learning together. Pages of Scripture are full of journey stories, and over the next few weeks we will look at 3 of them. Next week we'll look at the story of Ruth and Naomi and their journey. And then on Stewardship Sunday in 2 weeks we'll look at one of the many journeys of the Apostle Paul from the book of Acts. But first today, this story from the journey of Abram and Sarai, as they were known here, who later became Abraham and Sarah. It's one of the great stories of Scripture included in that Hall of Fame, if you will, in Hebrews 11. Like my father years ago, Hebrews tells us that Abram set out on a journey not knowing where he was going. But it was quite a journey. It basically followed the Fertile Crescent of the ancient Near East, if you remember your high school or college world geography. When we first learn of Abraham in Genesis chapter 11, he is living in Ur of the Chaldeans. You know where that is? A little geography lesson here would be helpful. That's about probably a little south of Baghdad, Iraq. And he would have traveled up through Iran and over into Syria and down through the Palestinian territories and into modern-day Israel. Places that are still in the headlines of today's newspapers or on your cell phone or however you read the news these days. We don't have time to go into a lot of detail on that journey, but I wish we did. It's fascinating to reflect on the symbolic nature of this journey. It parallels the exile in Babylon, the Babylonian exile, and the journey back home again. And it would be good to take time to reflect on what it means that Abraham was entering the promised land. One thing we need to remember, as Art shared with us, is that Abraham is the founding father for 3 faiths, not just one. The Holy Land is holy for all 3, and even a 4th that Art shared with us. And it has been home to these people for hundreds of years. So to claim it as the promised land for any one group of people would be a distortion of history and the promise. But since we don't have time to go into all those details, let's focus on the main point of the story, and that point is by faith. By faith, Abraham and Sarah started on a journey, not knowing where they were going. By faith, they were willing to go. They had no particular reason to believe the promise, but by faith, they went anyway. They had no proof, no evidence, but by faith they went. They picked up everything they could take with them, and they went on an epic road trip. All 3 religions, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, revere Abraham and Sarah because of their faith. The book of Hebrews defines faith as the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. They hoped that God's promise would be fulfilled, that they would find a home in this new land, and that they would have offspring as numerous as the sands of the sea, as impossible as that sounded. They acted on this journey not because there was gold in them, their hills. They didn't come to this promised land to find comfort and security. They had that back in Babylon. They acted on what they knew to be true. And that, dear friends, is a definition of faith that I think is very helpful. I heard some time ago, and I think of it often, that faith is acting on what I know to be true. And here's what I think we know to be true in this place. That God is a God of unconditional love. That God has called each one of us to this particular place. Maybe you're even here for the first time today, but God has called you here. That God wants us to take that message of unconditional love out into a community and a world in need, that God has called us to stand with the poor and the oppressed, that God has given us the gift of children in this place, and we are called to nurture them in faith and love. If those are the things we know to be true, how should we act? If we have faith, we will continue to move forward, building on our programs of worship and music and Christian education and social justice. We will put our time, talent, and treasure where our mouth is. We will step out in faith and expect a miracle. We will step out in faith looking forward to the adventure that awaits us. Friends, we do know these things to be true, and we are stepping out in faith. The only question now is whether you will go with us on that journey. These banners are filled with pictures of our life together in this place, pictures of worship and music, pictures of children and youth in Sunday school, pictures of fellowship events like the weekly coffee hour, the church picnic, the fall festival. I've journeyed with you for 17 months now, and it has been a wonderful adventure. When you're on vacation, the kids always ask, "Are we there yet?" You've heard that. And sometimes I wonder, are we there yet? Do we have the financial security we crave? Have we accomplished all that we want to do? Of course not. But we are on the move, and here again is the best part. We're on the journey together. Last summer, Elizabeth, Sarah, Lucas, and I took 15 high schoolers on a road trip to West Virginia. We had a goal and a mission. But one of the most enjoyable things was just being on the journey together. When you travel with that many people, you have to stop at almost every rest area along the way. But those stops were fun. We would throw a frisbee and stretch our legs. And one day we even stopped and had a picnic lunch on the road. We gathered around the table, made our sandwiches, and just enjoyed being on the journey together. In a moment, we will gather around a table. We will break bread and share a cup to remember that we are not on this journey alone. We are on this journey together, with each other and with Christ who walks with us. So how's your faith meter this morning? Do you have the faith of Abraham and Sarah? I'm not sure I do. Are you ready to leave the familiarity of the past and head into the future that God has for you and for us? Starting on a journey not knowing where you are going can be scary. But then again, you can end up in Disneyland. I'm ready for the journey, as long as you are. So, let's start the journey together. Amen.